I've been walking this way for years. Farm cat and walk cows, young ones. And that's for different seasons, obviously. That's Cathro Farm. That's a just private rented accommodation now. Farm is to the left, that's a farmhouse. It overlooks Bangor Dingle and obviously the Log Mountain. The Shropshire Plain and Peckforton Hill in the far distance. You can't see that, but I can with my naked eye. 40 odd miles away, Llanymynech Rocks, Moyargarth, Gilsfield, Llansillen, Berwyn Ridge. I've always thought that this would be a fabulous spot, either to build a pub, country pub, right on here, overlooking that. Maybe you take out that hedge and see that as well. See on this spot. Either that or it'd make it really nice. Take up that chunk of the hedge. Nice spot for a house. Fairly large and on this brow of this hill. It'd cost a lot. Way up the farmland. And it's a bit too near the main road, this road. Ideally be set further in, further back. There's a lot of houses up the Brocas up that way, and the thing under the trees, back end of the Golver. And that's Powers Estate. So it's I was watching the New Culture Forum deprogrammed with Harrison Pitt earlier, and a guy from the podcast of Lotus Eaters, I forget his name, and an old school liberal, left-wing liberal philosopher and activist, but she isn't one of these shit-lib Socialist Workers Party Labour left-wing anymore. She's awakened, even though she's still on the left, as you would see it. We're not that far on the left. But she's had come under fire from the shit libs. It's quite a story. Anyway, as Harrison mentions, we live in a now we're past the definition of a police state. Mark Rowley saying that all this talk of two-tier policing is harming the police, and therefore it's likely to incite violence against the police, and likely because of that it will be a criminal offence. So we can't, if you're calling out two-tier policing, you're probably a criminal. But they made the point in that discussion about the Socialist Workers Party. They're very highly organised. It's a cult. At the centre you have, it's a, well, I won't say it's relatively small, but smaller than the number who turn out on those demos with those placards. Oh, they've been turned out, by the way, been turning out with George Floyd placards in 2024, so just recycling the old placards that they produced in 2020. Basically, it isn't about the riot, it's just about every shit-lib cause that's going, and they want to enforce that view. The SWP, Stand Up to Racism, is an offshoot of that. They recruit the rather, shall we say, the be kind people into them, rather the sort of oh, there's an anti-racism thing going on here, we've got to stand up to that nasty Tommy Robertson, even though he didn't organise any of that. Doesn't matter. The lie gets repeated and often enough that it becomes a fact, saying that they think there was a Farage riot and there wasn't. It doesn't matter about that either. So they just turn out and have to be kind and to be seen to be anti-racist, because we can't be seen to be not kind, and it can't be seen to do you want to have a discussion, serious discussion about these things? No, you just got to be kind. That's the end of the discussion. Just be kind, don't be nasty, don't be all the isms, phobes, bigots, all the rest of the shit, the buzzwords. the emotional soup at the bottom pile of the pyramid of abstraction, as I've talked about to you earlier on, haven't I? And Harrison Pitt and his guests were slowly grasping at this, that these various libtards will get recruited and to come along to these SWP rallies. They call counter-protest, but they weren't. It was a hoax. They're the useful idiots. They don't really realise it, but basically the SWP, Harrison Pitt and the others are slowly coming to realise that the SWP mob, that cult, they're brown shirts. But they turned up outside Reform Party offices in London. Can you imagine any other group turning up outside the offices of those four independent MPs who stood on the independent ticket for plasticine? Can you imagine that group? Thousands turning up outside their office, thousands turning up outside the offices of Lib Dems? No, of course not. They'll be with the far right, people with the Mussolini pictures hanging on the wall and all the rest of it. Yeah, you know how that would go. Of course not, but because it's the anti-racist, be kind, say no to bigotry people. They get a free pass, and they get the hands, get clapped like seals. The people just clap like seals at celebrating what they're doing. So, I think Harrison and the others in the SWP and the New Culture Forum, I can't get those two confused. In the New Culture Forum, they're starting to realise, aren't they? And they're starting to realise when Bernie, she still hasn't tweeted since her arrest the week last Wednesday. As far as I can see, she hasn't surfaced again on X. And I know the Free Speech Union now representing her, and she would have had to be charged by now. She prefaced one of her tweets with "if this is the case," and she got arrested for that, for saying certain things about the Southport stabber, or somebody who went on the stabbing in Southport, shall we say. If this is true, that indicates that's a hypothetical discussion. That's what she's taking part in, is a hypothetical discussion further up the rungs of the pyramid of abstraction. And we've had a mole just run through the hedge. By the way, the sun is about to set in less than half an hour behind that's Moyle Garth. So she was arrested for making an abstract point, wanting to make an abstract point, wanting to make an abstract discussion, or have an abstract discussion, and she still hasn't. Oh, by the way, Nick Lowell's of Hope Not Hate, he's still tweeting away after his tweet about acid allegedly being thrown at a Muslim woman, which didn't happen. So he's still tweeting away quite merrily. Yeah, Bernie, she hasn't. She's gone to ground. Oh, by the way, a guy was released very recently from prison, 6 months released early from his sentence, 6 months after he was sentenced for manslaughter, to make room in prisons, because it's more important to put people away from writing stuff on Facebook and on X, isn't it? Priorities. We'd much better have a manslaughter guy, man convicted of manslaughter, wandering around the roads. Yeah, it's a joke. Oh, to be that age again. So it's a nice spot up here. Nice fresh breeze. It's a joke. I'm much fitter than I was. That walk up from Paddington Cross doesn't take as long. I'm not as tired when they get to the top. I can push 2.5 kilos on the chest press. That's got to do a bit more. Face pull, start at 37 kilos on that and get up to 40 odd. Probably do more the next week. I can pull 47 kilos on the pull down on that machine. And that's maxed that machine out. I'll have to do a fitness test on the treadmill there, see what that says. That'll be quite interesting. Fitter, leaner, much leaner as it happens. So the sun is on the Berwyn Ridge over there, about to set quite soon. I think people are starting to realise now, aren't they, about the SWP, that they are an organised group of brown shirts. And people have been conned into supporting their cause under the pretext of the toxic sentimentality. It's not good. As was warned by Theodore Dalrymple in 2010. Nobody listened, did they? You could see the birds swooping down to catch the voles and all the stuff in this cornfield. The voles got in there, the ducks sometimes cross the road. That's the earth shadow. You just about see, we're about to see the earth shadow in a bit. And I'll carry on walking back towards town. See if I see anybody driving north out of Osborne. One of my people that I know, they live different parts of the county.